Haval is well known for their full hybrid vehicles, but did you know that the local Jolion lineup has 3? That's right, you heard it right. They have 3 gasoline-only options. Now what we have here is the top spec gasoline-powered Haval Jolion DCT Supreme, and in this video, I'm going to share with you how it performs. Let's do this. Just when we thought that the value subcompact crossover space is already crowded, GWM Philippines brings in their own contender in the form of the Haval Jolion DCT Supreme. The Jolion Supreme, or Jolion if you're pasosyal, offers a unique style and even more features than the current offerings, but it managed to keep the price at a competitive level. Coming in at 1,248,000 Philippine pesos, the Haval Jolion DCT Supreme is right smack in the middle of the value subcompact crossovers in terms of price. So here lies the question. What sort of unique value proposition can the Haval Jolion DCT Supreme offer? Let's find out. Here at Reagan's Rides, we do car reviews of SUVs, sports cars, trucks, and everything in between. So subscribe and hit the bell. Okay, so apparently there are 2 ways to say the name Jolion. There's the usual way, which is Jolion, which apparently means first love in Chinese. Now, for those of you who are curious, if you're really inclined to know, it's pronounced Julian in Mandarin. I hope I said it right though. Then there's a second way, which is the more social way of saying it, which is Jolion. Now, Jolion is short for joyful little lion, and personally, if you were to ask me, I like it more. Because it sounds more social. Anyway, let's talk about the Jolion DCT Supreme. Eagle-eyed viewers of my channel will immediately point out that this is down on power versus, say, the Coolray or the Emzoom. See, we get a 1.5-liter turbocharged inline-4 gasoline motor here that puts out 141 horsepower and 220 Newton-meters of torque. So yes, the numbers aren't as good as the other contenders, but dude, there's more to cars than just raw numbers. See, the Jolion's Sport mode, we have 4 drive modes here, Eco, Normal, Sport, and Snow. But the Sport mode of the Jolion is a very aggressive sport mode, and when you pop it into Sport mode, it unleashes, an angry little lion. It's no longer a joyful little lion, it becomes an angry little lion. The throttle response is lightning quick, and the 7-speed wet-type dual-clutch transmission is more than eager to put the power down. See, this car can take you from cruising speed to crazy illegal speed in no time. Now, the better news here is, if you're not driving this like Reagan-style speed demon driving, the dual-clutch of the Jolion is actually pretty smooth. In fact, of all the DCTs that I've tested, this, my friends, ranks amongst the best out there. I didn't experience any jerkiness while driving it in traffic, which is quite refreshing for a dual clutch. Now, we also have one of the best steering feels in the business here. It has just the right amount of heft, plus just the right amount of feedback. Now, there's also a heads-up display, so there's no need for you to look down all the time just to check your gauges because of that heads-up display. Now, to access the drive modes, you can just do a swipe on the screen from left to right, which is a pretty cool shortcut. But I still prefer to have an actual drive mode switch somewhere here on the dash, because I'm the type of person who usually switches between drive modes a lot whenever I go out for a drive. Now, since I don't get that, well, I normally would just stay in normal mode and go for a more relaxed drive. Speaking of which, let me just put it back in normal mode here, there. Okay. Now, the Jolion Supreme also comes with ADAS, which further encourages a chill drive. See, dude, I'm particularly in love with the traffic jam assist that we have here, as well as the adaptive cruise control, which are great tools whenever you're in bumper-to-bumper traffic or if you just want to relax on the highway. So yeah, that helps to reduce the stress of driving. Now, that, my friends, is something that a lot of people will appreciate. Now, if you're the type who wants to blend in and just doesn't like to stand out, then no sir or ma'am, this vehicle is not for you. You see, the Haval Jolion Supreme has a jolly and playful look to it, starting with the color. Now, this, my friends, is what they call sea blue, and this is definitely eye-catching. I mean, it's a far cry from the usual boring blacks and whites that we see out there on the road. Now, this gorgeous color is complemented by these wild-looking LED DRLs that extend from those beautiful LED headlight units all the way down to the sides of the front bumper. Now, these gorgeous LED lighting units are further complemented by a blinged-out and chromed chainmail style front grille here, which, as I said, adds a little bit more bling to this subcompact crossover. Now, the side will show off the size of this Jolion Supreme. You see, this might be a subcompact crossover, but it is the largest subcompact crossover in the value segment today. Now, that larger dimensions means that we get more space inside, which I will get to a little bit later on. Now, as for the design itself, well, it's a typical subcompact crossover side profile with the usual niceties like a set of power folding side mirrors with LED turn signals, and we also have 18-inch alloy wheels. Now, behind those wheels, we get 4-wheel disc brakes, and for the suspension, it rides on MacPherson's up front and a torsion beam at the back. Now, the ground clearance is at 168 millimeters, which seems a tad bit low even for a city crossover. Now, just like the larger Haval H6, the cabin of the Jolion DCT Supreme is a blend of simplicity and premium materials. You see, we have eco-friendly leather seats here with power adjustments for the driver's seat, and we also have a leather-wrapped steering wheel here, which unfortunately only adjusts for tilt. You see, it doesn't have a telescoping functions, which is a bummer for taller drivers out there, but luckily enough, I'm not really the tallest person on the planet, being just 5'6", so yeah, I don't really need that telescoping function. Now, we also have a pair of paddle shifters here behind the wheel, which is the only way that you can shift the Jolion Supreme when you're in manual mode. That's because we have a rotary shift knob here, which is, it looks more at home in a hybrid crossover. Now, we also have a pair of digital panels here, which also looks at home in a hybrid crossover because we have a fully digital instrument gauge cluster there, plus that heads-up display, and we have a rather large 12.3-inch touchscreen infotainment system. Now, this infotainment system has, get this, Apple Carplay, and Android Auto, which is already a leg up over the other competitors from Chinese car makers in the same price category, because most of them just rely on Bluetooth and smartphone mirroring when it comes to connectivity. Now, aside from that, we also have a 360-degree view camera image here in high definition. Plus, we also have a wireless charge pad, which rounds out all the tech features of the Jolion Supreme. Now, the infotainment system also has majority of the vehicle's controls, which personally I'm not really a big fan of. Yeah, but if you want that Tesla-like experience of having minimal buttons on your cabin, then yes, the Jolion DCT Supreme can deliver that. You see, we only have a row of buttons right here below that infotainment system, which controls your power for your audio as well as your climate control. Yeah, so that's the only thing. For the other controls, you just have to dive in to that infotainment system. Now, I do wish that we got a separate audio volume knob here, because the only physical way for you to do that is on the steering wheel. Now, as for the cabin materials itself, well, as I said at the start, it is a mix of premium and soft touch materials here, from the middle of the dashboard to your door cards, all the way up to that panoramic sunroof. The premium feeling cabin really contributes to the relaxed feel of the Jolion whenever you go out for a drive. The NVH levels are also really good on the highway, with road and wind noise reduced to a minimum. See, there's a nice and hefty feel with this Jolion whenever I go out for a drive with this vehicle. See, it feels heavy. I mean, not in a bad way. I mean, it feels substantial, it feels hefty. It kind of feels like a Euro car, in fact. Now, the relaxed nature of the Jolion's drive contributes to its fuel economy. You see, put it in eco mode, and you can get up to 11 kilometers per liter on the city, while a highway drive, well, the best that I could do was 13.5 kilometers per liter. Now, that highway fuel economy kind of surprised me though, because I sort of expected a better figure here. But well, it is what it is. Now, the Jolion Supreme is also one of the bigger subcompact crossovers in the segment, so let's see how it feels when you sit in the back. Now, as I said, the Jolion is one of the biggest subcompact crossovers in the segment, and it shows right here at the back. You see, we have a wheelbase of 2,700 millimeters, which translates to a more stable drive on the highway. And it also translates to a lot of space here at the back seat. You see, we have enough space to keep 3 regular-sized adults comfortable when they ride here at the back. And yeah, it is really comfy and cool here. Now, I did notice that the sunshade of the panoramic sunroof is a mesh type. Although, to its credit, yeah, it doesn't feel hot here. Now, it helps that we have a pair of rear AC vents there, and the fact that the Jolion Supreme also has one of the coldest AC systems in the category today. Now, to round out the amenities here at the back seat, we also have a pair of USB charge ports there, and we have this center armrest that comes with a couple of cup holders. The rear end design continues on with its eye-catching look. We've got a pair of LED taillights here that are shaped like a 777, and no matter how hard I look, I can't really see the 777. I mean, they told me it's shaped like a 777, but I can't see it until I did a Google search of 777 in Chinese Mandarin, and when I saw the character, there you go. It is shaped like a 777 in Chinese Mandarin. Now, between these LED taillight units, we have the large Haval lettering there so that nobody will wonder what this crossover is. And when we pop open the manual liftgate, you'll see that we have one of the largest cargo spaces in the category. You see, we have 430 liters of cargo space here, which is good enough for my large SkyTravel luggage here, as you can see. Put our large SkyTravel luggage there, and we have enough space on the sides for smaller bags. Now, underneath the floorboard of the Haval Jolion Supreme, we also have a donut spare tire as well as a fire extinguisher in case of emergencies. While the Haval Jolion Supreme may not be the most powerful crossover in its class, it fully understands that comfort and connectivity are bigger considerations to most people nowadays. It strives to remove the stress of daily driving by giving a comfortable cabin experience, from the driver assist aids to the most spacious cabin in the category today. And if ever you're in a hurry and need to put the pedal to the metal, well, just put it into sport mode and the Haval Jolion Supreme can still deliver the goods. Thanks for watching.